My mother always said I was born with a golden heart and clumsy feet. In Seoul, that's a dangerous combination. Welcome to the Golden Spoon, the most exclusive restaurant in the city. Here, the steak costs more than my monthly rent, and the appetizers are more expensive than my college degree. I'm Lee Sora. I actually recently graduated with a degree in psychology, but for a few complicated reasons, I ended up working here as a waitress. I've got a wooden spoon and a dream of being the one sitting at the table, instead of the one cleaning it. In this place, we have three worlds. The public pavilion, the heart of the restaurant, it's for the social climbers. It's basically a high-end zoo. Bright lights and glass walls designed so everyone can see exactly who you're with and what you're wearing. It's loud with the sound of ambition and the flash of phone cameras. The stone corridors. This is where the old money and the corporate giants hide. No windows, just heavy wood and soundproof doors. This is where the real deals are signed, and where people pay a fortune to be completely invisible. The air here smells like expensive tobacco and heavy secrets. The Sky Gallery, a glass sanctuary on the top floor with its own private elevator. This is for the Unreachables, the top 0.1%. They don't just eat, they look down at the city lights like they own the sky. I'm not even allowed to touch the elevator button for that floor. The people who keep this place running, a massive army, but a few of them live in my head rent-free. The kitchen crew, a colony of stressed-out chefs led by Chef Ma. He's grumpy, smells like charcoal, and hands out harsh truths like free samples. He once told me my work ethic is like cheap instant noodles, salty and going nowhere. The serving crew, a line of human robots, most notably Jisoo, the perfect waitress, who never sweats and spends her breaks reporting my mistakes to the boss. And then there's me, the human version of a 404 error. I'm just trying to balance a $500 tray while my clumsy feet try to sabotage my career. Manager Kang, the stoic mentor. He's the bridge between us and the chaos. He's so professional, it's actually creepy. He clearly hides a secret past, probably something involving a dark suit and a lot of corporate betrayal. The Tuesday lady, table 1, she eats alone every Tuesday, never complains, and just watches us like she's waiting for me to trip, which is statistically a very high probability event. The chairman, the owner and the ghost in the machine, a business legend who treats this restaurant like a private chessboard. He buys companies for breakfast and forgets he owns them by lunch. Every table tells a story. Today, we're at table 7 in the public pavilion. It's 8:30 p.m. on a Monday. CEO Park and his right-hand man, CTO Choi, are regulars, the kind of guys who treat their staff like disposable chopsticks. They are leaning back, sipping pre-dinner drinks, while Secretary Kim is perched on the very edge of her chair like she's about to fall off. She isn't even allowed a plate of her own. Her dinner is a heavy laptop balanced on her knees, and the blue glow of the screen makes her look even paler as she tries to disappear into her work.
Kim, I just refreshed the folder. Still no signatures from the Busan office? We have the board meeting at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Why am I looking at empty lines while I'm trying to eat?
I'm sorry, sir. The director's office in Busan stopped responding at 6 p.m. I've sent 4 urgent follow-ups, but since it's after hours there...
After hours? Kim, the board doesn't have hours. If those signatures aren't in the file, my entire month of technical work is a scrap of paper. You should have been on a train to Busan 3 hours ago if they weren't picking up.
Exactly. I don't pay you to send emails. I pay you to solve problems so I don't look like an amateur. My deal is stalled because you can't manage a simple courier.
I will try the director's personal cell phone. I was just worried about overstepping during dinner time.
Stop worrying about overstepping and start worrying about your paycheck. It's pathetic. If you can't handle the pace, just say so. My desk is buried in resumes from people who actually understand what urgency means.
Don't worry about ordering food, Kim. Just stay on that phone. You can eat tomorrow if we win the vote.
My heart was breaking for her. She was a top-tier executive secretary, but here she was just an overpriced laptop stand. I wanted to tell her she didn't deserve this. I scribbled a note on a napkin. Sorry to see your struggles. Hope you will overcome all your difficulties soon. As I set down a side dish, I secretly dropped the note onto Miss Kim's lap, but she was so stressed she didn't even notice. When she stood up a moment later to grab a file, the note slid off and landed right in front of CEO Park. My blood ran cold. CEO Park picked it up and read it. Then his expression softened into something incredibly smug. He actually thought I wrote it for him.
Waitress, come here. I didn't realize. You noticed. Daily struggles. It's rare to find someone who understands the weight a leader carries. You have a very sharp eye, Sora.
I froze. Clumsy feet, remember? I was 1 second away from a disaster. If I stayed silent, I was a liar. If I spoke up, I was fired. Actually, sir, I think you misunderstood. I wrote that for your secretary. You've been very hard on her tonight. I noticed your intense leadership made you a bit rough on her, and I felt sorry for her. CEO Park's face turned a deep shade of red. Just as he opened his mouth to explode, a hand landed on my shoulder.
Mr. Park, please forgive our staff's enthusiasm. Sora is one of our best, but as a psychology graduate, she has a bad habit of trying to diagnose our guests instead of serving them. It's a sign of her overactive brain, not disrespect.
Manager Kang's voice was like ice on a burn. He bowed perfectly, shielding me.
Please, enjoy the rest of your meal as our guests. Sora, the kitchen needs you. Now.
I practically ran to the kitchen. I had survived, but only because Manager Kang turned my disaster into a nerdy mistake. One month later. I saw Miss Kim exactly a month later when they returned for their monthly beef fix. The laptop was finally closed, and for the first time, she actually had a plate of food in front of her. When our eyes met, she gave me a tiny, knowing smirk that said, "I'm still here and I'm eating." She whispered that after that night, CEO Park actually looked embarrassed. He realized if his bullying was loud enough to make the waitstaff feel pity, he was losing his cool CEO image. What did I learn? Boundaries aren't just for business, they are for survival. Miss Kim learned to set hers, and I learned that while a golden heart is good, I really need to fix these clumsy feet before they get me fired for real.